I saw where you said the WNBA, they're targeting Caitlin Clark. What do you mean by how she's being guarded or,
Did you see what Caitlin Clark's fans just did to Geno Auriemma? The legendary coach thought he could throw shade at the rookie sensation, but he didn't expect this backlash. Clark's supporters are not holding back, and they're coming for Auriemma's new league.
We are in a red-blue, and if you're red, you can't agree with blue, and if you're blue, you can't agree with red. Yeah, I think you and I both know the landscape that we live in today, both sports-wise and non-sports-wise, right?
Imagine this. Auriemma, the coach who's won it all, is now facing an army of angry fans. They're not just defending Clark, they're exposing everything about Auriemma's involvement in the Unrivaled League. You won't believe how quickly this turned into a full-on roast.
By saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at a WNBA, whereas most things are in the middle. If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball phenom. She's got an entire army of fans ready to throw down for her. And let me tell you, they're not messing around. These supporters are more fired up than a three-pointer at the buzzer, and they're aiming straight for Geno Auriemma.
And none of them are going to say it, but human nature is, okay, this kid's coming into the league. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. So if you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, and I've pissed them off a lot, and they let me know about it. But they were tremendously disrespected. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league.
So how did this whole mess start? It all went down on the Dan Patrick show when Auriemma decided to share his thoughts on Clark's future in the WNBA. He straight up said she's not built for the physicality of the league and that she'd face a rude awakening when she gets there. Talk about throwing shade. As you can imagine, that didn't sit well with Clark's fans. They took those words and ran with them, turning them into a rallying cry against Auriemma.
There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really, and she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement. Targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation.
Clark's supporters weren't about to let Auriemma's comments slide. They started digging deep like they were trying to uncover buried treasure. And boy, did they strike gold. They found out that Auriemma isn't just talking smack from the sidelines. He's got skin in the game. Turns out, he's part owner of this new Unrivaled League. That's right, the same guy who's saying Clark can't hack it in the pros is also trying to profit off her talent. Now imagine this. Clark's fans are using this info to roast Auriemma like he's a marshmallow at a campfire. They're coming at him from all angles and they're not pulling any punches.
So what kind of impact is this rookie class having in the WNBA?
How do you think Clark is handling this?
I think she's handling great. I think she talks a lot of and she gets a lot of back. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. But they've been put out to be that because the way social media is today.
One fan hit him with the zinger of the century, asking, if she's not built for the league, why do you want her so bad? Ouch, that's gotta sting worse than a defensive slap on a layup attempt. It's like we're watching David take on Goliath, but in this version, David's got a whole Twitter army backing him up. Auriemma might have the trophies and the reputation, but Clark's got the people. And in the age of social media, that's a force to be reckoned with. These fans are relentless, picking apart every word Auriemma's ever said about women's basketball and using it against him. But you know what's the craziest part of all this? While Auriemma's getting roasted and her fans are going to war, Clark's just silent. She's not saying a word about any of it. It's like she's in her own little bubble, completely unbothered by all the drama swirling around her. Instead of clapping back or getting involved in the Twitter beef, she's letting her game do all the talking. And let me tell you, her game speaks volumes. While everyone else is caught up in the he said, she said, Clark's out there breaking records and dropping jaws. She's too busy being a beast on the court to worry about what some coach thinks about her future.
She deserves everything she gets because she gives it as good as she gets it. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
It's like she's saying, you think I can't handle the WNBA? Watch me. Without ever opening her mouth, she's making the strongest statement of all. You think Clark's causing havoc on the court? That's nothing compared to the chaos she's stirring up off it. The Unrivaled League thought they had a slam dunk plan, but now they're scrambling like it's the last seconds of a tied game. And get this, it's not just Auriemma they've got to worry about. Let's break it down. The Unrivaled League is gearing up for this massive launch in January. They're trying to make a splash bigger than a cannonball in a kiddie pool. And who's the crown jewel they're after? You guessed it, Caitlin Clark. I mean, can you blame them? She's the hottest thing in women's basketball since sliced bread became a game strategy. But here's the kicker. Clark's fans are not having it. They've drawn a line in the sand, and it's got Auriemma's name all over it. These supporters are making more noise than a packed arena during a buzzer beater. Their message? If Auriemma's involved, they don't want Clark anywhere near this league. It's like they're building a fan-powered force field around her. Now, here's where it gets wild. Some of Clark's diehard fans are tossing around an idea crazier than a behind-the-back, no-look pass. They're saying Clark shouldn't just play in the league, she should buy it. Can you imagine? It's like they want her to go from rookie sensation to league owner before she even graduates. Talk about a power move, but let's get real for a second. The Unrivaled League is in a tight spot, tighter than a defensive press in the fourth quarter. They're trying to make this big splash in January, but without Clark, it's looking less like a cannonball and more like a belly flop. It's like they're throwing a party and the guest of honor might not show up. Talk about awkward. And just when you think things couldn't get more complicated, there's another player in this game. Did you know Megan Rapinoe's wife is also part owner of this league? It's like the Unrivaled League can't catch a break. Every time they try to build some hype, something new comes out that has fans raising their eyebrows higher than a ref calling a foul. It's got to be frustrating for the league. They're probably feeling like they're playing a game of whack-a-mole. Every time they think they've got a handle on one issue, another one pops up. It's like they're trying to run a fast break, but keep tripping over their own shoelaces. And through all this drama, all this back and forth, you know what Clark's doing? She's probably at home, kicking back, maybe watching some game tape, and laughing at the whole situation. While everyone else is running around like chickens with their heads cut off, she's cool as a cucumber. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. The Unrivaled League's gotta be sweating bullets right now. Without Clark, they might be in serious trouble. It's like they're trying to launch a rocket without any fuel. Sure, they've got other talented players, but Clark, she's in a league of her own. And her fans, they're making sure everyone knows it. So here's the deal. Auriemma's comments might have just backfired big time. The Unrivaled League he part owns, it could be in serious trouble without Clark. Imagine trying to launch a rocket without its main booster. That's what they're facing right now. But you know what's really wild about all this? It shows just how much power fans have in women's sports these days. They're not just cheering from the sidelines anymore. They're shaping the game off the court too. Clark's army of supporters is proving they can move mountains or at least shake up a whole league. So what do you think? Should Clark join the Unrivaled League and show Auriemma what she's made of? Or should she stay away and let her game do all the talking? Either way, one thing's for sure. The ball's in her court now.